Hello.
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 How's it going? We
Good.
are we're running a little bit late as per usual whenever Helen's involved in anything. We have a new guest juror this week. Would you like to
Hello.
introduce yourself, Rick?
Sure. My name is Rick Costa. Helen likes to call me the God guy. So
God guy.
yeah, I broadcast churchy stuff every day for 7 years. But yeah,
But also a music lover, which is why you're here.
yes, yes, singer, songwriter, also. Yep.
Listen to him showing off in the corner there. And Jeebles, do you want to tell us about you?
I'm Jeeves, aka Mr. Twix, and I'm an engineer's sound tech, DJ, video editor, all that in the entertainment field. You can catch me on Twitch 3 times a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
all
Cool.
these all these talented people that I'm surrounded by. I'm Helen. I'm the host of Helen's Mixtape on 365 Radio, and I do some other stuff. You can check that out later on the old socials. Right, we are here for a reason. We are here to go through my inbox for tracks that have been submitted to me that people want to have their song played on my radio show, and I can't play them all. Hi, Chris. Welcome. So what we do
Technician.
is we have a little listen and we decide whether we not whether do you have your hit and miss signs, Rick?
Oh, I'll make one right now.
See, I forgot to remind you about that. So we have a little listen to the songs and we decide whether or not they're a hit or a miss. And it's that simple and that straightforward. And it gives everybody a chance to be heard. So while Rick's making his sign, I shall open up my emails and
Okay,
have a
my
little
hit
look.
and miss works.
In the meantime, has anybody got anything music related to share? It's been a month since we were here. Anything happening?
Nothing so far.
Yeah.
Not really.
I'm
That's
doing a St. Patrick's Day boat party next week on the 17th. So
Are
I get
you?
to drink some green beer and DJ. Do
Are
the
you
wiki
are
wiki
you are
whack.
you, are you dressing in green? You're gonna get your emerald green shirt on.
I don't know if I could get green, but I'm gonna try and find something. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it's a
I'll be
must. I think.
I'll be the leprechaun. I'll go get the one of those the leprechaun hats. Yeah, yeah. DJ, chick 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 chick. Look at this leprechaun DJ.
That's funny.
Uh,
Okay. I'm trying to think. I went to a gig this morning. No, I didn't. That would have been a neat trick. I went to a gig this week. Slow Readers Club, which if anybody listens to Helen's Mixtape, they'll be familiar with the Slow Readers Club, independent band from Manchester. Absolutely superb gig. Getting home, not so much. I got lost. That was quite traumatic. I don't know why. If anybody from Glasgow City Council happens to come across this, stop shutting down the M8 at night time. And if you do, can you just divert us properly so we don't end up in the arse end of nowhere, lost at like 1 o'clock in the morning, please? And thank you. Right. Emails. Let's open this up.
the DJ language. Chris says.
Okay. So I'm trying to think how far back I need to go in terms of hang on a wee minute. I'm getting things happening here in the background. Excuse me a second.
No
no problem.
problem. Do that. I'll take a sip of water.
Right, you do have to, just excuse me for 2 seconds, okay? Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. No worries. So how y'all doing in the chatters box? What's up, Chris? What's going on?
Chris, have dinner
How?
yet?
No, I was going to, and then work called and stuff, so I had to go finish that, and then I never got to eat. So I am going to immediately eat after this. So
Cool,
yeah,
cool. How about
yeah, yeah.
Chris? You have dinner?
Getting up.
I was naughty. I had Burger King because I was in a rush. Oops.
Ooh, that sounds so good. Yeah.
Still got the cup. Burger King.
You get the Whopper.
Yep.
Nice.
Whopper and fries.
Yeah, I like the angry Whopper from Burger King.
Ooh, fish
I'm
and
having
chips.
fish and chip for dinner. Ooh, that sounds about good. It all depends on like what kind of fish they fry. It's when I will get the fish and chip. If it's like cheap fish, then I'll like, nah. I want something quality if I want to have fish and chip, you know? So,
Yeah.
and then nice cut fries. Ooh. And the tartar sauce got to be good. I used to make like good tartar sauce when I worked in the fun restaurant. Oh, it was so good. I mean,
Alaska codfish. Ooh.
like some codfish. Yeah. They do it with a different one too, which is really nice too. I forget the
Right.
name of it.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, we're
Little-
talking about food.
That's all right. It always diverts to food. Let's be honest.
Thought
Just had, a
yours
little,
was
just had to run up a flight of stairs, and as you can tell, I'm not in particularly great physical condition. I'm like, right. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your little chitty chat. Let's see what we can find.
No, I think we're done. Chris was just saying he's having fish and chip. And we're wondering what kind of fish.
Okay.
Alaskan codfish.
Now, I'm trying to think how far back we need to go because it has been maybe 5 weeks, hasn't it? And I'm trying to think. So monotone depression we looked at last time. So let's go back far enough so that it's not just the immediately new stuff. Here's one here, contacts form, new submission. Okay, that's just asking if I take submissions, so there's not actually anything attached to that.
If you can realize this is live.
It is live also, but obviously there's a reason also that we do this blind so that I'm coming in from a point of view of I've not heard it either, right? So the new single is accompanied by the release of a fantastic one-take video. Okay, so it says, "Hey Helen, another brand new tune from Jamie Lenman here for you." This bugs me because this is a plugger that sent this to me, and I really wish they wouldn't, but we'll listen to it anyway. It bothers me that other people are paid to promote music and send me stuff, and artists are paying for that service. It bothers me. If you're an artist, just send me the stuff yourself. Save yourself some money. Okay, I'll still listen. I'll still hear it. In fact, I'm more likely to hear it if you send it to me yourself. I'm more likely to ignore an email from a plugger. I'm just throwing that out there. Right, let's open up this YouTube link. I'll have to share that instead.
Somebody just said hi to me. Hello, MOSJ. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Why won't it let me scroll this back? Hang on. Oi, bloody thing.
Oi, wait.
I'm trying to share the right screen now because it's jumped to YouTube. Okay, so here we go. We all ready?
Yes.
Now I'm going to mute my mic. Can you guys tell me if we still have audio when that happens? It should be okay, but I just want to double check.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We were 17. We were of an age. You know what I mean. Just a couple kids. And perhaps it's true that it's not your fault. All I had was you. It was a mistake, just a bit of fun. When I saw your face, I knew what you'd done. Now you're standing here after all this time, saying the punishment doesn't fit the crime. Oh, but these words of love don't mean anything. Years apart don't change anything. a cheap cigar. That's not what you do. That's not who you are. You regretted it, and you regret it now. Yeah, I bet you do. Yeah, I bet you do. Oh, but these words of love don't mean anything. The long years apart don't change anything. Tears in your eyes don't prove anything at It can't be gone from you. Oh, can it fade so fast? It can't be lost from you. Now I am lost. Now I am lost. Oh, but these words of love don't mean anything. Alone, years apart don't change anything. Tears in your eyes don't prove anything at
Wow.
Okay, so we'll start with G's just because Rick's new and we'll let him sort of settle in. So do you want to go first, G's? What did you think? Oh, hi,
I thought it was
Badges,
pretty.
by the way.
Oh, hi, Badges. I thought it was pretty good. It was a simple video. It seemed pretty cool because it was in the studio. The track wise, I thought it was pretty good. Like it had all the elements from chorus. His voice, I'm not a big fan of it, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good overall. Like the music and stuff, I thought it was, yeah, it's pretty spot on. But I mean, everything was really good except for the like. For me, I wasn't a big fan of the voice, but everything gelled. Pretty nice. I like the breakdown. That was really nice. So yeah,
Okay,
that was
Rick.
good.
I enjoyed it. I liked it. I got scared at the beginning because it was like da 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 da. I was like, "Are you gonna change it anytime soon?" But then he did, and then he came in and changed and switched it. I was like, "Okay, now I'm with you. Now I'm with you." And then yeah, the harmonies. I loved the harmonies once the chorus came in. I did like his voice. I thought it was cool. Video was slightly distracting, but I'm trying not to pay attention to that. Focus on the music. But yeah, I enjoyed the whole thing, the production, everything. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it.
Okay, my opinion. This isn't normally something that I would play on my radio show, right?
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
much
Kirk.
more. It's much more traditional / rock than what I would normally play on my
Yeah,
radio
modern
show.
rock.
Now, that's why this is so important because that song would not get heard on Helen's mixtape just because it's Cynthia Electronica that I normally play, and that doesn't fall into that category.
Mhm.
But that song deserved to be heard.
Mhm.
I enjoyed it. It did sound like a lot of other stuff. If you heard that on the radio, you wouldn't be able to tell whether it was, it sounded a lot like Travis. It sounded a lot like, trying to think offhand, like it sounded like Snow Patrol. It sounded like a whole load of other, like, kind of soft rock
Other bands.
/ indie kind of bands. It sounds like a lot of other things. Names of bands escape me, but because that's not my scene, right? But it sounded like a lot of other things. However, it sounds like something you would hear on mainstream radio. Certainly in this country. I'm not sure about in the States, but it's
Yeah,
definitely
Well, not-
something it's definitely something you'd hear on commercial radio here. which is why I wouldn't play it. Not because it's not good, but because you'd hear it on every other radio station, and I play the stuff that other people don't play, right? That's my whole shtick.
Yeah.
However, I liked it. It was well produced. I did like his vocals, actually. And the musicianship was great. It sounded like a fully produced, fully fledged. It didn't sound amateurish. It sounded like a fully fledged. This could be released on a. And I didn't actually check the record label situation, but that sounds like that's something that's on a big label. That sounds like something that will get distributed and played on mainstream radio stations.
Yeah. I didn't mind the video either.
And that's not a bad thing either, by the way. It's just that that's not my radio show particularly, but that, you know, that's, and obviously people are submitting things with the expectation of hoping to be heard on Helen's mixtape. So that's why this song is the very reason why JukeBox Jury is important, because I wouldn't be able to play that. Well, I mean, I can play whatever I want, but the tendency is to play things that are on the same, they flow into each other, and that would just be a standout, like this is too out of the niche, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm rambling. What did we think? Did we think it was a hit or a miss?
No. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
So congratulations, and I've completely forgot. Is it Jamie Lenman? Jamie Lenman, was that the guy's name? Jamie, congratulations. It's a hit all round. Good job. Thank you for submitting it or getting your plugger. Or
Badger said I did hit it. Just don't hit it too hard, Badges.
Easy, Tiger.
No, I didn't mean it in that bad way.
Like, so congratulations, Jamie. Well done. Hit all round. Let's go through. What I normally do is I normally read the chat first before we do that bit. I've jumped ahead of myself. So comments. Badger said she'd hit it. I really regret missing this song now. That was Craig Bloke over in Australia. Thank you for popping in. And I think that's it. Nobody else has really had any comments on it, have they?
Badger said it was beginning was a little rocky.
She said the vocals are banger.
Yeah, that song patch on the forehead really got me going.
Well, it's unique. You're gonna recognize. So like I said, it sounds like a lot of.
He only had one.
It sounds like a lot of other things, but if you see that guy, you're going to know who he is. He looks unique, you know? That's a good thing. It's a good thing. And Chris thinks it's a hit.
As far as the video, I wish he would have not just only stayed in the room, but like did some stuff outside, come back in and go back out. Like,
yeah, I had a storyline to it.
Well, the email did specifically say a one-take video. It did say that on it. So maybe that was what they were going for, is obviously just doing it all in one take. So that must be the sort of like, you know, the direction they were headed in. And budget, I can understand, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the video actually. It did what it needed to do, you know.
Yeah. I first thought that
anything
programmed, but it looked like he actually played it because he had a drum right there. So
I was going to say anything more busy as well would distract me from the actual song, and having a simple video made it easier to focus on actually listening to the music. The video wasn't a distraction to that, so the video was all right. Okay, so let's open up these emails again. Dum dum dum. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I've been sneezing all day.
Maybe that means a good luck. Yeah.
Or maybe I was looking for something earlier and disturbed some dust, and now it's all up in my nostrils.
That could be
it could be that. Okay, so we've just come from Jamie Lenman. So let's go a little bit further up and see. I'm trying to not see this same person, Lee Jackson keeps sending me stuff, and it's like, no, you're being paid to do that. Stop. Here's one here. Into the Blood, new single. Hello, Radio Leggy, Helen on the radio. Hope you're doing well. Thanks a lot for your support by playing our music on your shows. It's very much appreciated. Here is the link. Dropbox to our new single, Move Me, which is released on the 17th of February. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit slow in opening my emails, as usual. Hope you like it and want to give it a spin or two. Thanks. Best wishes, Into the Blood. So let's have a little listen to this. Is there a link to just listen to it? No, do I have to actually go into the
Dropbox. I think.
Dropbox? I don't really want to go into the Dropbox if I can just listen to it. If there's a SoundCloud's a different. Those are different tracks. Okay, hang on. Let's have a look then. Itchy nose. What did they say it was called? Move Me. Move Me lyric video. Let's open that up. It gives us something to watch. And we'll share this tab. Sorry. It's annoying when you open something else up, it doesn't automatically jump to that thing you've opened, right? You've got to reshare it on the other tab. Okay, let me know if you have audio, okay?
Alrighty.
I'm so afraid and scared that someone breaks my heart, that someone new will make me cry. I'm so suspicious, breaking up before it starts. It's always me who says goodbye, goodbye.
I know that you're still feeling sad and alone, and you think that's the best to be all on your own. You're left asking yourself what on earth went so wrong, like a crushing sensation that lasted so long. But it's time to get it out there. You used too much time getting over a heartbreak. It's a long and tough climb. Now I'm asking you, honey, what are you trying to prove? Now it's time to close the previous chapter and make a move. Yeah, make a move. Make a move on me. Make a move on me. Make a move on me.
I'm so afraid and scared that someone breaks my heart,
Make a move on me.
that someone new will make me cry.
Make a move on me.
I'm so suspicious, breaking up before it starts.
Make a move on me.
It's always me who says goodbye, goodbye.
Make a move. Make a move. Make a move. Make a move on me. Make a move. Make a move. Make a move. Make a move on me. Make a move. Make a move. Make a move. Make a move on me. Make a move. Make a move. Make a move.
Make a move.
Make a move. Make a move.
Make a
Make a move on me.
I'm just laughing at the comments, which I'm going to, before we come to
know,
what we
I
think,
am.
I'm going to read the comments first, okay? Because that just had me cracking up. So the first one was when Craig said, when the male voiced for, put your teeth back in, Helen, start again. When the male voice first comes in, it's terrible. I guess it improves though, so not the end of the world. And then Badgie says, I was vibing till the dude joined in, like, what the heck? Rick, do you want to go first? What did you think?
Rick first.
Sure. I like the beat, like that it's danceable. I can see it played at clubs. Um, and I agree the male voice was very jarring because first you had it's like what just happened? It was just jarring. I was like, what the heck? I did get used to it. I did get used to it after a while, and it didn't freak me out as much. I liked her voice towards the end when she had the harmony better. In the beginning, her voice was like really. I don't hate to make. I'm not making fun of you. I'm sorry. I love you, but she has a really kind of nasally voice. So it was a little bit like I don't know, just gritted my nerves a little bit. But it wasn't. She's not a bad singer though. She sings well. You can't help how your voice sounds. This is how your voice sounds. But when there was harmony, way better. I loved it better. And then yeah, like I said, when he came in, whoa. But it had a nice beat. Like I said, you're at the club, maybe you're a little bit drunk. You'd be like, yo, this is awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Would it be at the radio though? That's my thoughts.
No.
Jeeves?
So mine thought was at first I thought this sounded like Ace of Base when the bass like the beat came on, and then I was like, oh, this when the male guy came on, I was like, oh, this sounds like Aqua, like the Barbie girl. Come on, Barbie, let's go apart. Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. But it was pretty good. I don't see it playing it on any radio or anything like that unless they want to like a I don't know comedy break or whatever. Then they can play this. But the lyric was pretty catchy. Like, come on, move on me or whatever. And then the guy came in. That was when like, whoa, what the heck? Kind of threw me off at first. But then when the song kept going with him, I think everybody got kind of used to it. But nah, I don't see it playing on your radio or anywhere. It'd be something like a comedy
The
stuff.
thing is, right, you guys both listen to my show, right? So you know what I'm gonna say. I can fake it, The thing that cracked me up was every so often that male voice would go, yeah. And I've just got visions of that scene in Trading Places where they're in the jail cell.
Oh yeah,
The guy, yeah.
you.
So that's why I started laughing when I heard yeah. But anyway, I've gone off on a tangent. Okay. It makes you want to move. Right? It definitely did because at one point we were all moving. So
Yeah.
it succeeded in that. We're doing our bestest big fish, little fish.
Or the bar, couple of bucks.
All we needed was the glow sticks and the whistles. Would have been fine. So it definitely makes you want to move. You're right. It's too clubby for mixtape. But it is. I mean, it's not a bad song. There's nothing wrong with it. It just is not the pace that I would normally. I'm much more chill wave, synth wave, kind of maybe occasionally like rock band with synthesizer in it. This was a little bit too. It's funny you're saying Aqua actually. Now that you've said that I have that in my head now. You're right. There was the kind of Aqua feel. You're right. Badgie says definitely 90s club feels, and that's true. It was a dance, what we would know as dance, not like the stuff that was predated, like the disco stuff. It's what I would call dance music, but like from our childhood dance music. Do you know what I mean?
Like
Not
the
like
90s.
not like techno or house, but it sounded like she's right, 90s dance
Yeah.
music. Hence the glow sticks and the whistles. So nothing wrong with it. Probably wouldn't be getting played on mixtape, but that's just because of what mixtape is. It is quite constrictive. Yeah, I don't really have anything else much to say other than that.
Nope.
So I think we've covered everybody's comments. Yeah, we've got all the comments. So what do we think? Do we think it's a hit or a miss?
Oh shit.
I can never tell which way my camera's mirrored, so I've got it on both sides of the paper. It was a miss for me, but it's just because there's nothing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the song. It's just not my.
It's not my cup of tea.
It's not my bag, really. It's too.
Yeah.
I feel like that's been done before. Sorry,
For me,
Into
I
the Blood. And the thing is, as well, it doesn't even sound like Into the Blood either. Like they've done other stuff, and that it doesn't sound like them. Sorry, Rick. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say, like, as far as the hit or miss part, to me, I'm thinking, would this or would this not get played on the radio? And I would say no.
No.
Depends
So
on the
it's a no.
station. Depends on the Depends on. I mean, when I was at TD1, there was a guy that was on. He used to alternate with me, so we would do alternate weeks, and he was literally he was into that kind of dance. Paul, in fact, he was the guy that actually got me into radio in the first place, and he probably would play that because that was his thing, because it was 2 hours of dance music. That was his. So it depends, but commercial radio probably not.
Yeah, that's right.
And mixtape, just because it's just not the right kind of. It wouldn't flow with, unless I had a segment that was all old school dance. It would just be weird on my show. But there's nothing wrong with it. Anyway, I'm rambling. Why am I justifying this? I don't need to explain it. We're entitled to opinions. Let's move along. Let's have a look at the emails.
Next.
Let's have a wee look. Ooh, I've got an echo.
What's an echo?
I heard an echo.
We're good on my end.
Somebody's done a cover version of Ghosts again, but that's a new release by Depeche Mode. Why would you want to cover something that's literally just been released by the original band? That's weird.
Exactly.
Sorry, Brian Hazard. I'm not playing that.
Like this, as the audience explains, anyways, it's entertaining.
So I've got one here. Again, it's from Plugger Lee Jackson, but I seem to have an awful lot of emails from them. And the last one was decent, so let's read it. Hey, Helen. An absolutely incredible new artist here for you called Brody Milner. As soon as someone says somebody's incredibly incredible or absolutely incredible, I'm thinking, okay, you're really building this person up. They better be. Brody's new single, Hedonist, is released on Wednesday, the 15th of February. Sorry, I'm late opening my emails. And is available for airplay now. The Hull-based lo-fi songwriter will release his debut EP Tragic Comedy on the 26th of May 2023. Following the release of his early standalone singles over the past 2 years, Milner's music has been championed by the likes of Steve Lamacq and Phil Taggart, both BBC introduced in West Yorkshire, Humberside, York, blah, blah, blah. I don't really care what other stations are playing it, to be honest. It was featured on Tom Robinson's BBC Six Music, blah, 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 whatever. Okay. All the bits are copied in below. Hope you like the tune. Okay. Is there another little video? Because I liked that last time. That was nice and easy. Press release MP3 stream. I don't think they've got a video with this one. So let's go into, see if there's a link to stream it. It's a Dropbox. All right, it's a Dropbox. Hang on a second while we open that up then. Share this out. Okay.
Stopped reading dystopian novels when I realized that I was living inside of one. I stopped reading romantic fiction when I realized that I would never find love. And I stopped reading between the lines and the small print on my parking fines. And I started taking bad advice from inspiring quotes that said the key to life was this. Ambition is free, success costs, failure pays dividends, victory holds hands with loss. Tomorrow's happiness comes at no cost, tomorrow never comes. I swept since telegrams of inhaled chips. I turned my body into train tracks. My fondest moments became the boy where the time, when time a character the world should be proud of. And I feel so much better now. I feel so much better now. I feel so much better now. I feel. when I realized that I could just think like you and I stopped writing coherent words when I realized this dream of consciousness would do and I started jumping on the trend of justify means without the ends and I know better than your friends and I know that you think so too and I feel so much better now. I feel so much better now. I feel so much better now. I feel
Okay.
Wow.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Go then.
since you- I thought it sounded like Nine Inch Nails, first of all. Yeah, it was a full good production. I thought it was pretty good. Like, I don't have much to say about that. It was actually, I like the vocals. I think they were doing like a British mix kind of style of mixing. So, yeah, thought it was good.
Is that you?
Yeah,
That you
that's
done?
it.
Rick,
Yeah. Short and simple.
short and sweet.
I was muted. I'm trying to figure out what I feel.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
Um,
I thought it was good.
that just says kind of boring. Like, what style of music would that be called? Like, I'm sure that's a style that I don't know what it would be called, but
Yeah, it's a style for sure.
There are other acts that sound a bit
Sure.
like that, but I don't know where they fit into. Indie?
yeah. For
Yeah,
what it
indie rock, yeah.
is, I guess if you like that type of music, that genre, then it's probably okay. I thought the music a little bit better. I like a little bit tickling of the ears. I felt like it was a little bit maybe lazy. I don't know. The music. Not saying it was bad. I think the producer could have made it a little bit better. It was just like, and it was kind of like a little boring, a little bit monotone. The guy's voice is okay. He has a nice voice. I feel, but yeah, I'm not sure what to say.
Yeah, that's why I just read it short.
Okay, so I've got a problem here, and when the email read an absolutely incredible new artist, and this is what I was concerned about when I read the email, right? Because as soon as you big somebody up like that,
Mhm.
you're setting them up for a fall, right? I was expecting something amazing. Now, it wasn't bad. When I first heard the lyrics kick in, when I first heard the vocals kick in, my immediate thought was, okay, this person's been influenced by Bob Dylan. I was getting Bob Dylan vibes. In terms of style, obviously not necessarily musicianship, but there's a kind of punk element there as well. I get what you're saying, like indie kind of bands like White Stripes, whatever. That there's that kind of like thing going on. But for me, immediately my go-to reference was, okay, this person's been influenced by Bob Dylan. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I don't really know. It's not really my genre of music. Again, there's nothing wrong with this song, but it wouldn't be on Helen's mixtape. So I don't know who this Lee guy is, this plugger person who keeps sending me this stuff, but he hasn't listened to Helen's mixtape because he doesn't know. He's obviously just sending it out to every radio station or every radio presenter, not really knowing. And that's a bad thing as well. It's okay, we're doing Jukebox Jury, it's all fine, but ultimately, if I wasn't doing this, none of these songs would be getting played because that's not the person who's promoting these bands hasn't listened to my show. Clearly, it's very evident. That's just an aside. It doesn't really matter. But it's quite annoying. This person's being paid to promote music, paid by musicians to promote music, sending it out en masse. Bands can do that themselves, and I'm being bombarded with stuff that there's just no way it just wouldn't be on my show. So stop sending it. Do you know what I mean? It's weird. Anyway, I feel like I've gone off on a rant, and I don't mean to do that. It's just a little bugbear. If you're making your own music, please just send it out to yourself. It shows that you care about it. It's your baby. It's
Correct.
okay.
I think it is garage punk. Yeah, I feel like that's the genre.
Garage punk.
Oh, garage.
As opposed to garage punk.
I say garage. Sorry.
Tomato.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, garage because it's got that distortive sound to it. The whole thing.
So Badgie said kind of boring. Craig said soft ending. Badgie says I'm glad he feels better now.
I agree with you.
That is the comment of the day, actually. I'm glad he feels better now. That's so far.
Craig, I agree with you.
That's the new thing we need to add to JukeBox Jury is comment of the day, right? That's how.
Hello, Nancy.
Badges gets the first comment of the day.
Badges, you made it in.
Craig said, "Well, that was really unusual, but it carried me along the whole way. Weird but good." So Craig likes it. That's cool. Hi, Nancy. So, what do we think, guys? Do we think it was a hit or do we think it was a miss?
Oh, you guys know my answer. Dun dun dun.
Okay. For me, it was a miss just because it's not my cup of tea. But there was nothing wrong with the song. Also, I would like to add that this will get played by commercial radio or like not necessarily commercial radio, but mainstream radio.
Mainstream
and
radio.
The email bears that out when they're saying all these BBC presenters, BBC Introducing, BBC Steve Lamacq, BBC, all these people who champion. The BBC is very good at championing new music if it fits into their mold, right? Isn't a rant about the BBC, but it's pertinent. The BBC are good at championing. They're good at championing. The BBC are good at championing new acts as long as it falls into that, indie guitar, drums, bass, three dudes in skinny black jeans, whatever. What color does the color of the jeans doesn't matter. But
it could be black and white.
That genre of stuff, like or all the stuff all kind of starts to sound the same, right? Stuff that was indie, that was unusual, that wasn't normally played on mainstream radio is the stuff that's getting played on mainstream radio. But there isn't anything. I mean, there is no like BBC show championing electronic music, for example. Do you know what I mean? Like, BBC, get your act together. Give me a fucking show. I'll championing your electronica for you. Okay. Anyway, moving along. That's the only reason. Just because it is again quite commercial and sounds like a lot of other stuff. Hi, Tony.
Oh, championing. You're in late, brah.
Okay, so how many have we done? Was that the third?
3. Yeah, that was the third.
Crikey, we're bashing on in at a pace today, aren't we? No waffle or droning on this week. It's like
that's what you will get some pancakes in.
We've got Rick here who's keeping us on a schedule.
We'll get some pancakes in. Some buttermilk pancakes.
Rick needs to broadcast, so I'm conscious of time.
Yes.
So we'll make this. We'll do one more, and we'll make it the last one. Okay. So let's open up the emails.
Yes.
No, you're right. I'm always late, Nancy. But like I say, we've got Rick here, so he can keep us in line. Okay.
Pick a good one.
Yeah. Something that will actually be your.
I'm trying to kind of like pace it, because I've missed a lot of emails. As you can see, there's a lot of unread emails.
Most of them are rock that wouldn't be played on your radio.
I know. Okay, here's one that's brand new. It's just been sent into me today, right?
Okay.
12:08 p.m. So it was sent in 12 hours ago. Martin James. Let's just look at that. It's the most recent thing. So it says, "Hi, please find attached information dislocation radio edit by Mothloop." God, this is another plugger then, I think. By Mothloop, which is available on streaming platforms from the 17th of March. So we've actually got one in before it gets released. Woohoo! Mothloop is Martin James. Okay, that's the person that sent me the email. So this is someone who sent me their own stuff. Well done. Mothloop is Martin James from Nostalgia Death Star and owner of State of Base Records. Information Dislocation, along with the forthcoming album Contaminated Disco. It's produced by Timo Montage Collective. Oh yeah, I know who that is. And features backing vocals by Australia-Cuban singer Pia Nesvara and trumpet by Melbourne's Gabe Small. Small, tomato. Information Dislocation is the opening track from the latest Generation Blitz compilation, The Winter Collection. Mothloop's grooves have an edginess that glimpses an imagined past. God, this is so florid. Like, we don't need all this info. Post-punk, new wave, and synth-pop beats. I'm having caffeine, man. Synth-pop beats play havoc with the contours of trap and future pop. Slap bass snakes around sub pulses and funky guitars. I feel like this person wants to be a fucking writer. They want to be, I don't know, they want to have like a column in a magazine somewhere. Like, this is too convoluted.
Like, don't have to listen to my music.
It's a simple case of fuck the darkness, let's dance. Okay, whatever. Apologies if you have already received this, and huge thanks if you've already played it. Best, Martin. All right, Martin. You've made your case. What was that?
I have no idea what you just said.
Craig and Nancy both wrote. They're funny.
Hang on, let me come back in. I'm reading because I'm on the other screen, right? Hang on. What did I say? Come back in.
Like reading a polished
I have
wine
no idea
label.
what you just said.
Wine label.
Oh, Craig.
Oh my god. Right. Okay. Let's play it. Hang on. Okay, it wants me to download it. I don't want to download it. I just want to play it. Why won't you just let me play it?
Ah, there you go.
We're all dancing as the walls come down. We're all dancing every which way around. We're all dancing through these revolutions, spinning into destitution, limited by institutions now. We're all dancing to distraction, solid gold and easy action. I can't get no satisfaction. I love your love action. Now we're dancing as the days decay. Dance me to the edge of love that will never disappear, never go away. Dancing through the world, dancing through the mirrors, dancing through infinity like we're on fire. Slogans are enough for our desire. Slogans are enough to bring down the world, 'cause we're dancing on fire. We're dancing on fire. Dancing into hypocrites. Dancing like hypocrites. We're dancing. We're all dancing to distraction, solid gold and easy action. I can't get no satisfaction. I love your love action. We're all dancing to distraction, solid gold and easy action. I can't get no satisfaction. I love your love action. We're all dancing to distraction, solid gold and easy
Okay. Who wants to go first?
Uh,
Yeah, I just
Rick?
went first. She said it's a no for me, not my vibe.
Mm-hmm. Right, Rick, you go first because Jeeves went first last time.
It's, danceable beat, so it's kind of cool. I like the dancey stuff. That's I like that. Um, One big thing for me, like a little bit of a no-no, is vocals. You have to always have very clear vocals. I don't want to have to struggle to figure out what you're saying. And most of the time it was fine, but when they mishmashed vocals together the way they did, sometimes I was like straining a little bit. Like, what are they saying? Like, I got it, but I don't want to have to fight to hear what you're saying. I want it to be clear. I don't want to have to, strain to hear make out what you're saying. So that I didn't care for that part, but the vocals otherwise were cool. Other times very cool way they mixed it up. And the music I liked. It gave me the tickling of my ears that I like. So yeah, it's okay. I'm still trying to process it, but yeah.
Jeeves.
I thought it was terrible. I'm sorry. I'm the total opposite. First of all, it's way too busy. That's why you couldn't hear the vocals at all, because way too busy. And why is there a trumpet out of random? So random. Like, I feel like that trumpet shouldn't be there. And he tried to put all these different genres all together. First of all, the drums are way too busy for what he's doing. Way too busy, and everything is doing different things. It's not gelling together for me. Like, everything is doing one whole thing themselves, and this and that. He's trying to put all these things together, and it's just. I'm sorry. I don't want to say. I know you're trying to, you know, make music here. I'm not trying to say like you're bad or anything like that, but it just didn't gel for me at all. Like, it just felt like this was here, that was there, this was there. So which one am I supposed to be focused on? And then I'm trying to hear the vocals. I can't because I'm distracted of the trumpet, distracted of the drums going all busy and everything. So nah.
So kind
It's
of messy.
very messy. Like, there was no direction. There was no direction. The trumpet comes out of nowhere. I don't know why it's even in the track. Sounds like I'm in the military or something, so
It doesn't even sound like a trumpet. It sounds like a
yeah,
bad EX7 sample of a trumpet.
exactly. Exactly. So that's what I feel. So
Okay. Are you?
I'm
Is that
sorry.
you? Have you? Is that your?
Yeah.
You're concluded. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you just said what you feel, Jeeves. I God, right, when the vocals first kicked in, I was like, oh no. I'd had that like, oh no feeling, right? And then I kind of got what it is they're trying to do. There was a couple of references in there. It sounds very much like they're trying to play homage to the Human League, right? With that reference to Love Action in the chorus. And even musically, it sounds like they're kind of trying to kind of nod towards Human League. I don't mean early Human League, Martin Ware, geeky man Human League. I mean Human League with the girls, Love Action and, Don't You Want Me Baby, all that kind of stuff. Like, I can hear that there's some kind of musical nod to that. It doesn't explain the trumpet. I can't answer that question. I don't know why that's there. I don't know.
So weird.
But I can hear that there's some kind of... Do you know what? Here's the thing. It was quite catchy. Once you'd heard the chorus a couple of times, it was actually quite catchy. You knew it was coming, and it made you want to move. It had that kind of like danceability. It does make you weren't you wouldn't just sit stagnantly like it was doing something, right? Even if it was just doing your head in, it was doing something. So it wasn't bad. All right. Would I play it on mixtape? I don't know. Actually, I'm quite conflicted with this one. I can hear that there's a kind of, like I say, there's a kind of nod to the stuff that I would play, just not to the same level as the guys that they're trying to play homage to. I don't know. It's a tricky one. There wasn't anything wrong with it. I know what Jeeves is saying. It was very busy. It was very busy. It says that in the email, in his florid, wordy They're
The
both
drums even more simpler.
pretentious email. Um,
Yeah.
Someone said something that is like reading a fancy wine list, or what was it? Somebody said something about what was
Yeah,
it?
that was Craig,
Wine
like
list, yeah.
reading a wine label.
Wash
Yeah,
wine.
and the word is pretentious. That's kind of how it comes across with the florid, overuse of the words. And I'm a wordy person. And I think that it was over wordy. It's one of those things where you're reading through something and you want to switch off when you're reading through it. It's like, okay, I want you to play the song. I don't want to read all this pretentious bollocks. I'm
But when
sorry.
I heard the song, what do you call whatever he wrote actually was in the song, and I'm like, this is way too much
I'm
of
sorry. I'm
everything.
sorry, Mothloop, but your email was a bit OTT. He did say at one point in the email, hang on, what was it when he was describing the song? He was like, slap at the bass. What? Hang on. Slap bass snakes around sub pulses and funky guitars mesh with all manner of flutes, horns, and voices. It's a simple case of fuck the darkness, let's dance. I think they were trying to do something upbeat, and they've said in here there's a message of Pet Shop Boys New Order Heaven 17 interesting. Heaven 17 are the offshoot of what early Human League were, right? So I had said to you there's an homage to Human League there. They've referenced Heaven 17. Heaven 17 was the band that Martin Weir set up with Glenn Gregory after he left Human League. So that's interesting. They were much more, they had other instruments in there and brass and stuff, not just synths. So it's interesting that they're nodding to that in the email. I didn't even read that part of the email actually because I'd switched off because the email was too florid.
It was laid too much of it.
I'd
and
already
it was
switched off. I hadn't
all-
even finished reading the email. But I could definitely hear a nod to Human League in there. And it's interesting that they've noted Heaven 17. But anyway, so did we catch all of the... Let me go back and read the things. Hang on. Let me read all the things first. Hang on. Craig says, fuck the darkness, let's dance. The name of the song, it should be. Nancy said, I have no idea what you said. That was funny. My tip is Helen will like this. Sounds 80-ish. I think that's intentional though, Nancy. I think I think it is meant to sound 80-ish, hence the Human League thing. Yeah, it's a no for me, not my vibe, says Badges. Nope, not for me either, says Chris Technician. MIDI trumpet bleh. Not my type of music, and what Rick said, says Nancy. God, you're all loving on this, aren't you? Crikey. That Craig bloke, oh Jeeves, damn Jeeves. Thank you for the tip, Craig. That was very kind of you. We'll put that in my coffee fund. Right there with you, Jeeves. Yes, I was trying to figure out which group they sounded like. That's it. I'm glad that makes sense. That's like I say, I'd switched off before I finished reading the email. It was too much. Craig votes for Hit. One person in the chat likes
Oh
it.
my.
Okay.
Craig, I'm not with you this time.
Was it a hit or a miss, boys? What do we think?
Oh, wrong one. There we go. Sorry, wrong one.
I feel bad, but yeah.
Sorry. A for effort, I would say. A for effort. We're not bashing anything.
I'm sorry, Mothloop. It's nothing personal. I understand what you're trying to do. I think Jeeves was right when he said it's too busy. I think that kind of sums up the whole thing, and not just the music, the email as well.
Yeah.
I'm not
Honestly,
even. Go on.
I was gonna say, I honestly think if they let somebody else try to fix it, it can be much better. I mean, you could say that.
Yeah, I
But
think so too.
It just
Yeah.
needs a little
Take
bit
out
of
some
tweaking.
things out of it and change the drums,
yeah, no trumpet for Jeeves.
definitely no trumpet. Take the trumpet and make the
It sounds
drums
like-
much
it
more
sounds-
simpler.
It sounds like
That will
Jeeves is
fix
saying
everything.
it sounds like Jeeves is saying if they just change everything, they can fix it.
Yeah,
Just
because
change
it's
everything,
layered
the whole
over,
thing.
layered over, layered over, layered over, layered. Like you're making a cake and you just put so much icing and this and this and this and this and
No,
here,
it
eat
did
it.
say who had produced it. Hang on, it's because Nancy says it needs producing, and they actually did say who produced it. Produced by Timo. I can never pronounce that guy's surname from Montage Collective. Now, Timo's actually sent me quite a lot of his own stuff and collaborations he's done as part of Montage Collective. and normally they're quite well produced. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. It's interesting, but I do think if someone else were to get their ears around it and tweak a few things, I think that track has got potential. It did make us want to move, and I can understand what it was they were trying to do with a little, like nod to obviously the music that they like listening to, which is what most musicians do. So that's us. We've done our 4 tracks, and Rick needs to go broadcast very shortly. So shall we just quickly go around and we'll start with you, Rick, so that if you need to bounce before we wrap up, you can go do your thing. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself, God Guy, and what it is that you do?
Yeah, if you go to my site is rickcosta.com, you could probably figure out from there what I'm about. And like I said earlier, I broadcast every day. I've been doing it for 7 years. I've never missed a day. Not even with deaths in the family or sicknesses, no vacations. I've been every single day. And yeah, go to rickcosta.com and you'll quickly figure out what I'm about. That's it.
And people can follow you on Twitch at Rick Costa 7. And I was hoping that even if you go live, I don't know if we'd be able to do that. I'm not sure. How do we do a raid? Does Jeeves know how to sort a raid? Because it would be nice to raid you to take our people over to your thing.
Yeah, we can rate it.
I don't know if we can do that. I don't want to put pressure on Rick to hurry up and go live, though, obviously, because he's not quite ready to do that yet.
Yeah,
but
you have to be on first, right?
I think so. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Not your
Does the
mod
person
here,
have to
so
be? Does the person have to be live?
I'm
Jeeves?
not your mod on. Yeah, the person have to be live first.
Okay.
in
Well,
order to do it.
maybe not.
And
We'll maybe not do that then.
I'm not a mod, so I can't do it. Only mods can do a raid.
No, but you can talk me through how to do it.
Oh yeah, that's easy. Totally easy.
Listen to Jeeves hinting that I'm not your mod. I'm not your mod. I'm not your. Hurry up and make your mod. Make me your mod. I'm not your mod. You're not my mod. I'm not your mod, but I'm not your mod.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, I could do.
I don't have, for the record, I don't have any moderators. Okay, it's nothing personal. I think if you can't handle your own shit, you shouldn't be broadcasting. Right? That's my theory. It's always been my philosophy. Go on, tell us about yourself, Jeeves.
I'm Jeeves, aka Mr. Twix. I'm a DJ, sound engineer, videographer, and all that jazz that I do in the entertainment business. Yeah, you can find me on Twitch. I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, 3 times a week. So yeah, and you can see everything in my bio of what I do. Yeah.
Does who do jazz?
Do you do jazz?
Who?
Do I do jazz? Yeah, I do jazz. I play jazz music.
Helen doesn't do jazz.
Helen does jazz hands.
I do all kinds of music, actually.
I can't remember how we had it set up before. I don't know what I've done. I've done something and I've fiddled with something, and now we're all like cropped in and had it fine before, and I've just
See,
messed
Helen
up
likes
here.
to push buttons just like me. I like to twiddle knobs.
Twiddly fiddle. Yes, we don't want to know about your knob twiddling. We'll keep that. Keep that private. My details have been here on screen the whole time. If you go to bio.link/Radio Leggy, and all the links for everything's on there. Thank you very much for joining us. Rick, thank you for stepping in and being our guest juror. I'm hoping you'll come back another time. That was awesome sauce. Sure. And I know that you need to go. Like I say, you can follow Rick Costa 7 and go jump on his stream when he goes live in the next 5 minutes or whenever it is. And thank you all for popping in. Everyone in the cheap seats, thank you for giving us your opinions. Very much appreciated. I've had some laughs tonight. Thank you for making me chuckle. And we'll be back probably in about a month's time. It's usually one Friday, once a month for JukeBox Jury. And obviously you can listen to Helen's mixtape on 365 Radio on a Thursday evening, 9 p.m. UK time. So that's currently 4 p.m. Eastern. But I know that there's a slight change in the times for a couple of weeks. You can figure it out. 9 o'clock GMT, 9 o'clock UK time, you can figure it out. Right. I think I shouted everyone out. Badges, Craig, Nancy, Chris Technician. Did I miss anyone? Who have I missed?
Tony.
Tony. Oh, Tony was in briefly.
Diane.
Diane.
Somebody from YouTube came in. Something. MSOJ or something.
Oh yeah. He was asking, do you take submissions? Actually.
Yeah.
I don't know if that person's still here. The submissions aren't specifically for JukeBox Jury, right? It's usually to try and get played on Helen's mixtape. But yes, submit your music. radio@helenwallace.co.uk. If you give me a second, I'll quickly just type that in a little graphic so that it comes up on the screen. I didn't have that ready. I didn't think to. It should actually be in my bio link, but I'm not sure. Hang on a second. And if I just radio, can't type, need coffee. There we go. Add that. So to submit music, it's radio@helenwallace.co.uk. If you can send me the file, or it's usually for JukeBox Jury, it's different, right? For JukeBox Jury, if you've got a little video, that's perfect. We've had some YouTube links, that's awesome. But if you actually are expecting to have your music played on the radio, send me a 320k MP3 file, and then that way I don't have to go and look for it and then track you down, try to find it on a streaming platform, and then ask you for the file. Just send it to me. And I listen to I do eventually listen to everything. It just takes me a while to get there, but I do listen to everything. And we'll leave that there. Thanks, guys, for popping in. Thanks, everyone. And we'll be back next month.
Okay.
Cheerio, bye,
Thank you.
ta-ta.
Cheerios. Bye, everybody.